We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they next. We come to collect. Did it all on my own, yeah. When it brought it back home, yeah. Now they calling my phone, yeah.
Como é que é, malta? Estamos aqui prontos para mais um episódio do nosso Traveling Hoopers, segundo episódio. As coisas não estão sendo fáceis, que isto às vezes as pessoas para conseguirem momentos para fazer entrevistas é mais complicado, mas como eu tinha dito já no meu primeiro episódio, o foco do Traveling Hoopers não ia ser só jogadoras femininas, ia ser qualquer jogador que quisesse por aqui passar e quisesse demonstrar a sua experiência. E neste episódio temos nada mais, nada menos que o nosso Jamie, or Jamila. Do you like it, Jamie Lamar? Okay. So
I like the Jamie Lamar. Yeah, that's better.
You like the Jamie Lamar, you know. I'm just, gonna like say a few words. Like I said, like right now we're sitting down with you. You're very talented. You're from Chicago. And you've been making waves in Portugal, like in the basketball scene. We all know that. We all seen what you've done. You come from one of the most basketball loving cities in the world. And then you went to Milwaukee, which is for me one other big city that involves basketball. And now you're craving your career overseas. I think your story is about resilience, passion, and determination. You've been here for 3 years now, and you've shown that you don't always have to have the big causes. You just need to want it the most. I guess for what I realized, you're with the agency here in a Portuguese one, so it's not, it's different from all the other players that I've known and interviews. They have agents from America. They try to contact and stuff. And you came here, and then you started or came or got hired for on an agency here in Portugal. So it's really just that is different about you. And I think the parts that we want to talk about is more about your experience from adjusting to a new country, overcoming injuries, viral moments, because we all seen that viral video, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to let that one slide to the end so I can stick up with people so they know how the hell that happened. That's a huge video for you, shared with millions of people, a lot of big accounts on basketball shared that video and tagged you in. And I think that actually changed a little bit of the visions that people had to you. And for the start of it, I remember us talking that you said you wanted to be a big, and you wanted to at least be in the league here in Portugal, which is a dream that probably most of the people that I talked with don't have. It's more I just want to, play my game so I can go to a better place. And then if it is in Portugal, so be it. If it's not, it isn't. You've been grinding here in Portugal, and I think that's a beautiful story. But I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, just more a little bit, because, it's your life, you know more about it than I do. So can you introduce yourself a little bit for the people who might not know you, which I think they are dumb, but okay. So
Nah, never too cocky. It's people out here that don't know me yet for sure. But I'm Jamie Sevier, or J Miller Jr. As you already said, from Chicago, Illinois. Weird story how I got to Portugal, but yes, I have been playing basketball in Portugal for 3 years now, and I'm grateful for it. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride to get here. So.
Yeah. So you talked about the weird story behind you coming to Portugal. Do you want to share it with us? You don't want to share it with us?
Yeah. I would change. I won't say weird. It was most of my faith in God led me to that as well, but the way things arranged it for me to get to Portugal was weird, very unexpected, But this actually started. The dream of me wanting to play overseas basketball started way in middle school, actually high school too as well. It's when I really was nah, this is what I need to do. Middle school was I was playing around with it, I was But high school was a big wake up call. The basketball there was very different. Playing in Chicago high school basketball, it's the talent there is different now. Those players were Division I players already,
Yeah.
But it still was kind of the same. They just need a little bit more development. But Those players, all the players I play with now in high school, actually, I mean, they are all in Division 1 now or overseas. So that speaks a lot of value in itself. So that's what I had to deal with in high school. Also, this plays a part. I'm going to start from the beginning of my high school career. I went to a high school called Gary Comer. The school wasn't so focused on basketball. They were more so focused on academics and football. So basketball wasn't really a huge thing there. So as I noticed, I was falling in love with basketball more. Random day, weird is how God works. I was at a basketball court outside. Shout out to Coach O. Playing outside, we do something called a 32. If it's like a few people around, we shoot 32, and then the first person to score 32 points win. So I was playing in the 32, and I was playing my game, and he really liked my game. It was a assistant coach at Bogan High School, one of the best high schools in Chicago for basketball. And he seen me playing, and he recognized it, and he asked, where was I going to school, and I was saying Gary Comer, and he was saying that I needed to come to Bogan because that's where all the talent is. In Bogan, they played teams like Simeon, Morgan Park. Um, I don't know if you know any of these NBA players, but Ayo DeSumo, he plays for the Chicago Bulls right
Yeah.
now.
But well, I love the Chicago, so we good.
Okay, we good. Okay. So Ayo DeSumo, he was in there. He was in our conference in high school. Taylor Horton Tucker, he played for the Lakers. I think right now he plays for the Bulls right now as well.
Yeah,
Actually,
plays for the Bulls. Yeah.
yeah. So um, it was a lot of NBA players actually in our high school conference. Another one is Zach Norvell. He played for the Lakers for a few, and then I think he's coaching at Gonzaga right now. But that was just the type of competition in that conference. It was just so high level. So I took the risk. I transferred from Gary Comer to Bogan, and that was the biggest jump of my life because my first practice walking in there, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like what the fuck
Yeah.
is going on? How am I gonna, adjust to this? Everybody dunking and shit, doing fadeaways, and everybody looks strong as hell already. I'm like, what the fuck is y'all eating? What is they feeding y'all? So I'm like, man, it's gonna be a big adjustment. So that's exactly what it was. My first when I transferred, I was in the middle of my sophomore year. So I couldn't play because transcripts,
Yeah.
papers, you know how that goes. So
I know.
yeah,
Papers.
it's bullshit, but I ain't gonna. I really don't want to put this up, and I'll put it out there. If you a star player, that shit don't matter. Like once you transfer, you playing. If you really one of those top players, But I was humble enough to know I wasn't that top player at the moment, so I went through the process. Um, yeah. So my sophomore year, I went through the phase. I adjusted, just practiced with our team the whole year. Um, no games because of those transcripts, and then my junior year came. That was a hell of a year. It was a tough year adjusting. Um, I was actually thrown on the floor a few times, but I was so nervous because I wasn't used to that type of environment. The crowd, the
Yeah.
fans. If you and then the worst part is if you play like shit the next day, they talking shit about you in high school. They on your ass. They're not holding back either. So it's
I
a
know
different
they're a tough
pressure.
crowd. They're a tough crowd. Like
Tough crowd. But it's kind of good though they put you on that pressure early, because when you get to college, it's gonna be the same shit, 10 times
yeah,
worse. And when you get overseas, it's on a whole nother level, of talking shit. So, they just build you early for that, and I was kind of grateful for that as well. But at the moment, I wasn't because I was scared. Always mad and shit. It was like one turnover, two turnovers, I'm out of the game. It was that for the whole junior year. So skip past that. Going into my senior year, I finally started to get a groove. We had summer leagues before we actually got into the school season.
yes.
So summer leagues, I was actually getting my groove. I was in a lineup. I was probably going to start, and that was a good thing. You starting for Bogan. That's a huge thing. Or even just getting a lot of minutes, being able to play. So I was finally getting there, and I'll say a month right before the season started, in practice, I had broke my right foot. going into my senior year. So my senior year, the most important year of my high school career, broke my foot. So I was frustrated as fuck. I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen from there. Of course, I was thinking, you know, I was thinking about giving up, just working a regular job, or just I don't know. I was just so confused, and after I healed, finally, it took me a long time to heal because my dumb ass, I'm gonna be honest, I rushed the injury.
Of course you did. I know what it is. I did the same shit. I did the same shit a lot of times with a bunch of minor injuries and bigger injuries, and then now I can move. I can't move shit. Half of my mobility is gone, but like long gone. So I understand it.
It's fucked up because I want to say you're not a real hooper if you never took that risk, but at the same time,
But it is the true, you know, it is nowadays. It's like more of like they help the kids out, and then you know even coaches take more care of about that, and even fathers. I think at our time, like I'm a couple of years older than you. I'm gonna turn 27 in like 2 days, but
oh, shit. Birthday
yeah,
coming
I
up.
know. Yeah, I know, right? I don't look it. I look good, but the thing is, like, I guess, like in our generation, you know, it's 3 years difference. Is not that big. But in our generation, it was more like of if you wanted to play basketball, you didn't have like even though your parents were there with you, and even I had parents that were going to every game of their kids and stuff like that. But my mom was working a 9 to 5 job and working on the weekend so she could, you know, so I could buy a fucking pair of sneakers and whatever
Mhm.
I have now. It's because of my mom and my grandmother. So I knew that most of the times they couldn't get to the games, and most of the times like the game itself was more of like a therapy than other stuff.
Yep.
So I get when you say like you rush things up, and I joke about it, but I did the exact same thing. And I guess if I didn't rush, I could have been a better player, because then I had to stop for 4 years because I was all fucked up. So you know, it's kind of like hard
Yeah, yeah.
to see happening, and then like now you look at it, and then you have like under under 14 players or under 12 players being examined by a physio, and you're like, I didn't have shit like that, you know,
None of
like
that
they told
shit.
me to run it off, like run it off. I don't give a shit. You broke your foot, run it off, because we only have 5 players. Just go fucking play, you know. So it's
Literally, yep.
we didn't have that, but it's good to see that actually the progression and stuff like that. We talk shit about it all the time, that now now the leagues are soft and stuff like that. But it's good to see that we are getting serious to the point that we get taken care of from a young age, you know. So I can I talked and I mocked you, but I'm the same, you know. It's like it's, and you never know what to do if you're injured. So yeah.
Yep. But it was just a learning experience. You know, like that was just the reason why we went through it. Just pass it to the young ones that's coming up in the soil. Like, just look, we've been here before. We've been thirsty. That basketball is still gonna be there. You know, just be patient. You know, but of course, you know us. It's different. But um, yeah. So like I was saying, I rushed through the injury. Um, Foot wasn't as strong, so it took longer, and I had to end up sitting out the whole season. I probably could have been back earlier, but I still wouldn't have been myself anyway, so it probably wasn't big of a difference. Um, so after my senior, I didn't heal until after the season was over, with going into that summertime. Just in the gym, my coach had a saying, a little funny saying. I'm a YMCA player, because I just used to stay in YMCA or LA Fitness all the time, because in high school I wasn't really playing a lot. So that's why I gained my confidence. It's funny, but that's why I gained just going. So I did that the whole summer after I graduated high school, and then just one odd night, just scrolling through social media, um, I seen something about colleges, and then overseas. It was literally like a, what do they say, like a aurora. Like first it
Yeah.
was a college, then it was literally under overseas, right under it. So it was funny, and I didn't even know what college I was gonna go to at the moment. But when I seen the overseas, then under that post, it
It
just clicked.
clicked.
Man, it clicked. Like, I don't know, this might be my goal right here, and. Shout out to Coach Dre. I played AAU because I was still 17. I was still young when I graduated, so I played AAU for that summer as well, and I was able to get a JUCO college in Milwaukee. Um, this is going to be funny and fucked up at the same time, but I love that team. I had a great experience there, but like playing wise, it was kind of the same shit as Bogan. Just trying to gain confidence again, all over again, adjust to the environment. Because now I'm actually playing more and I have more pressure on me. So now
Yeah.
it's a bigger adjustment, you know. So um, I did enough in the season, you know, like to get some good film and to get by. But like when I look back, it's like, what the fuck? If you look at my stats now, it's still on Google. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck did he get overseas? Like, you know, like how does this shit make sense? You know, but
It's the
yeah, college,
grinding up, you know.
it
It's the
was just
grinding
the
up.
grind. It was just the grind. But college, I wasn't even fully as confident as well. Like I have teammates that could vouch, but that was a great team. We actually went on a national run. We went second place in the national championship. So coach won coach of the year like 3, 4 times in a row. He's still winning coach of the year as we speak. So that speaks volume about the type of school I went to. Like I was just always in a top program though that put so much pressure on me. So I'm grateful for those moments. Shout out to Coach Casey. And shout out to my teammate Day Day, great teammate. He was a pain in the ass in practice, but man, one of the best teammates I had that still pushes me to this day as well while I'm overseas and keeps up with me. Um, so going through my college career is basically the same shit. I played 1 year, and then my second year I had to redshirt, get my grades up, and then that year, the next year I was supposed to come back. So the year after my redshirt, that's when COVID happened. You know, yeah, that's another, yeah, it's a whole another story. I was like, what the fuck, you know, again, you know, lockdown, can't do shit. And I was thinking about transferring to a school in Morton. I mean, in Chicago, it's called Morton. I was thinking about transferring there just to do classes online until schools open back up. And then that's in that moment, I was fed up with college. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, I just fucked off 2 years. That's how I felt. You know,
Yeah.
that's not what happened in reality. But that's just how I felt. You know, I fucked it off. So I was like, you know, I gotta find some way to play where I could feel like myself, feel happy. And after COVID happened, then my dad passed as well. So that was another like just a big wave of like pressure I had to deal with on top of COVID. That was all together. So after that passed through, I said, "Fuck it, I'm just about to go overseas. Like fuck school." Like I know my dad, rest in peace, dad, but he actually had this mindset like you need to stick with school, you need to graduate. You know how that goes, parents. I was like, "Fuck that shit, I'm going overseas," and I took a risk. I flew to Pedro de Cora. They had a camp, and it would be a few coaches there. If you play good, you would get signed. Um, I had to grind for the money just to get the flight there, just to be able to eat there. But it was all worth it. It was an investment, you know.
Yeah.
Not everything is just going to be fucking handed out to you anyway. So some shit just has to be like that, you know. Shout out to Jerome Silva and Antonio DePina. Antonio DePina, he runs camps all over. You probably seen it called Scouts Pro. He's been doing this for a while. He's still doing it today. Getting people signed. He ran this. He ran the camp in Cora. I stood out there. I was focused. I was locked in. That was probably the most confident I felt like in the actual game, like with referees or where something actually mattered. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't just LA Fitness or some shit. And I played on another level, and I got signed in Cora, and that shit was, man. When that coach told me like they only chose 2 players out of that whole group.
Yeah.
Shout out to Marvin Worthy. They told him, and we was in a little bar just chilling, and I didn't even know I was going to get signed actually, because Marvin already they already chose Marvin. I thought like it was going to be over with. So I was sitting in the bar, and Marvin comes up to me and was like, "The coach want to talk to me in the back," and I just started getting nervous and shit. I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And he told me, he was like, "Yeah, we like your game. We do see some things you need to work on. Blah blah blah." He was like, "But yeah, we're gonna stick with you." And you know, had a fucking body shock instantly. Like, damn, I just made it overseas. Like, this shit is crazy. But I stuck through with it. I played in core. I went back home first just to see my family, get myself mentally ready. Say my last goodbyes, do my last workouts, and then came back to core, played my first year, and
The
that
rest is
shit,
history.
man, the rest is that's really just where it starts. From there,
Yeah.
like,
Like I didn't know that you were the one, to come here and try to your for yourself, and we're gonna talk about it there, but I have a few questions about college and how
mhm,
your young life, because you talked about like being in high school and stuff like that, and being like you know just playing around and whatever, and before everything, before literally basketball, I think that we all want to know, how were you like growing up, how was little Jamie, junior, when you were a junior, when daddy called you junior, didn't even call you Jay, it was like, Junior, come here.
mhm. I was a little Miller around my dad, and then Jay. I used to hate this, but sometimes on my mom's side, they would call me Baby Jamie. I would hate that shit. I would hate that. I would hate that. My auntie, I lean to, and my mom, but they would call me Little Jamie or Baby Jamie. I'd be like, call me Little Miller. I like that. It's more boyish. You know what I'm saying? But the little me was I was goofy. I didn't know when to fucking stop playing. I'm like, I was goofy as hell, talk too fucking much. But I had, I was a good kid though. I was getting my ass whooped for good shit too, like just being outside for being too late, like playing basketball, like regular kid shit. But everybody grows up different. I still had my traumatizing moments growing up in Chicago. Um, Actually, through basketball as well. Um, there's been some situations like just playing at a court, and then things happen, and so I don't want to get too deep in that, but
No,
it's
it's Chicago. For
yeah,
the more you love it, the more you know the city, and it's not like the safest city around. And I think that basketball came with a good influence, but also a bad influence too.
hmm
Because people are competitive as shit, and the Chicago's, I fucking love you, shy people, but like, you're competitive as shit, and you can't lose for even fucking beans, So
hmm
you need to stay, like, it's a city of like deep love, especially in everything, and special basketball. And it must be hard to be like a kid, just trying to play around, on a world full of grown men, who don't know how to, contain their masculinity. Because I think most of the times, most of the problems around, basketball and world and stuff like that, it involves the fact that people have such a little, such big insecurities about who they are, and I think it's a big problem around other kids, especially in places like Chicago, which has lots of neighborhoods and stuff like that. So yeah, I know, we know we don't go there, but we know the problems there, because we do also have those problems here in Portugal, around Lisbon and Porto and stuff like that. But
hmm
the culture here is more like football, but it's the same thing, it's the same goddamn thing. Insecurities lead to, stupid acts of rage and stupid acts of violence. It's not as big because we are not as big as a country, as Chicago is as big as a city. And competitiveness in basketball around the USA, it brings the best and the worst in people. So of course we all have our traumas and stuff like that. But talking about this and talking about you being a kid, playing basketball, um, I wanted to know, and I think it's a good question. Is like, when did you first, start playing basketball? Why, like, do you remember the first time you grabbed a
Uh,
basketball?
my mom had me start in third grade, fourth grade, organized like with referees. They used to put a small rim on top of the like big rim that hang down. They
Yeah,
didn't even have the rims where like they'll just lower it down. They'll put like a little mini basket on top. It was funny, but like I don't know how to explain it. But if I'll see a picture, you'll be able to know what I'm saying. But like yeah, I started like third grade, fourth grade, so I was already basically born into this shit without
you look.
even knowing.
Yeah, looks like it kind of like reminds me of like Portuguese, basketball, because we don't have the AAUs and stuff like that. Like, if you want to play, it's either through school and it's organized, or it's either through clubs, so which organized the same way. We have like the mini tournaments and stuff like that, and then they under 12, under 10, under 8, under 10, under 12, under 14, and stuff like that. So in Portugal, it's kind of like that. So being like, starting like organized playing, like it's for me, I think it's like it's really good, but at the same time, it probably took you like that, rudeness and toughness of like we used to say, of the streets,
Right.
um but your mom, you said that your mom put you in the game, so did you love it from the start?
I think I gave her signs naturally that made her put me in that. Um, I did used to have a rim before. I do remember myself clearly before I even started playing organized ball. I had a rim in my back on my door, and I'll always be dunking on it, making noise and shit, loud as hell. And just for fun, like I remember, just asking, seeing it at Target, like, let me take this home. Can I just want to play around with it? Just it was just natural. Like I feel like this was a guy's gift because everything was in the beginning was natural. It never was like oh, I really see this. I like it. Like I love it. It was like, nah, fucking, let me see this. I'm bored. Let me just play around. So I don't irritate my mom or irritate. So uh, I gave her the signs, and thank God she followed them. And she put me in the program early, and I just kept going with it. So
Yeah, you literally you had the organized part of basketball since the beginning, which I think it helps a lot with how we see you playing, and the fact that for what I've seen your games, and for what I scouted, and that's a thing that we are going to talk further,
mm,
because I don't think some things, and how I met you and why I met you, but we're going to talk it before after.
okay.
um but for what I've seen, like, you are a good defensive player, you are really organized, you know how to pick the plays and stuff like that, and I believe that that comes with time. And for the people, like, one of the things that I think Americans struggle the most here in Portugal or in Europe is the part of the organized part, because most of the Americans come from AUs, and do it yourself, and just score 50 points, we don't give a shit. And then you come here and it's such a shock, because you're like she's a bench warmer, what the fuck she's talking about, like why she's critiquing my, and you come here and you realize, like, bench warmers know the fuck they are talking about. They just can't be the best, and they are okay with it, but they know how to play. And then I think
They
like,
see it more clearly than you do, actually, on the
yeah,
bench. So
I that's I had like a lot of, like, with Monique, I saw that you guys are friends. Me and Mo used to talk a lot. She would go, in between the games, she was like, do you see something and stuff like that, and she would ask me, because I was like, when she came to the team, to Andre, I was like the 12th player. I'm not even joking. I was like bottom on the play. I was warming the fucking bench, but the year before that, I was the sixth man. So it's like,
okay.
imagine, like, coming from the sixth man to the last person
Yeah,
on the
that's the
bench.
job.
but it's okay. It was my job to just glue the team and be there, and if I had to talk them down. I didn't matter. I just wanted to play. I just loved to play. But that's the thing, it was a shock to her, and to even to Nay and stuff like that. To see that even the bench was like saying like, just fucking defense, or just play the fucking thing. We don't care that you score 30 if we can defend and stuff like that, and that we would get mad if they wouldn't do the shit. So I think it's shocking, and I didn't see that, watching your game and watching the way you play. I didn't see that even the beginning. I didn't see the trying to score always just basket first and stuff like that. Of course you do that because you gain the confidence to play, and we can see that. But it's like, it was not just like that. It's we can see that how to play, how to distribute the game. We know how that you understand what this asked for you. And I think that's a huge difference between you and some of the guys that I met throughout my experience with American players and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why I really love to watch you play, is that you understand, because, and I think that's one of the reasons, is that your mother put you in organized basketball since the beginning. So since the beginning there's steps to this. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the European way. There's steps to it. But yeah, like, you one of the questions that I had is, and I think like this is one of the questions that I really wanted to know the most, is like I said, Chicago, Illinois, one of the most basketball loving cities. How did that shape your playing style and the way you viewed the game?
Um, First you have the idols that I used to watch all the time. I'm gonna start with Baller's Life first. Baller's Life was a big thing in high school.
Yeah.
Like if you was on Baller's Life, you was next level. So I used to watch a lot of people back then as well, but just watch a lot of Baller's Life mixtapes. That played a big role. This is kind of off topic, but the
Yeah.
rap culture definitely influenced like us on basketball. It geeked us up. It just motivated us in a different way to bring that energy on the court. And energy is strong. Energy travels.
Yeah.
So I think that's how music affected as well. And then my biggest one personally was Derrick Rose. Yeah, that's
Fucking love him. He's one of my favorite players. Him and Wade. So it's like, I'm kind of like in love with the PGs and the shooting guards, even though I was the center most of my life. But yeah.
nah, it's okay. But the game regardless. But I love some centers games as well. I watch a lot, and I'm at dinner. But actually, it's better that you study all positions. Not study, but just watch, because you just never know. What the fuck you might end up playing. Or so I've been in some shit where I thought I would never have to play point guard, and I'm playing point guard the whole fucking game. So it's just good to watch all positions. But damn, I forgot what the fuck I was talking about before.
You were talking about, like, we were talking about influences and the
Oh,
way you view
influence Derrick
basketball.
Rose. Derrick Rose, yeah, my biggest influence, Derrick Rose. I think that speaks for a lot of people in Chicago. Even people like you in Portugal or wherever. Like it was just. But for me, being from Chicago, it just hit so different. Like you being in the same neighborhoods I was in, and same gyms, and like me being in high school. When I be in Simeon's gym, I'll just be staring around like, damn, Derrick Rose played here. Like that shit give me the body, like the chills. So yeah, Derrick Rose. Just watching what he did in his career, that just motivated me on another level as well. So that was that's what shaped watching him play. Actually, I think that's what actually shaped me as well. Watching that live from my own two eyes, that's what shaped me to like have that hunger. It's a lot
Yeah.
of other things before that, but that was just like another cherry on top. I was building a huge cake. You got to build it from layers. You don't just throw a cake together; it starts in layers. So that was just another layer. So
Yeah, I feel you, you know, like I said, like when I started playing basketball, I think like one of my like favorite players in the NBA, because there was a point in my life that I stopped watching NBA because I was like that shit is just a show. I can't learn shit from it, and that's the truth. As a at the time, I was a female player. I couldn't do shit that they were doing on the NBA. So I couldn't reproduce the same things that they were doing. So for me, I had to start learning how to watch other games. So it's kind of like different from women to men on this aspect of things. But I remember being so fucking in love with Paul Gasol.
That's a
Like,
good. That's a good idol. That's a good.
I
That's
know,
a.
right? I say every time, like my favorite player. It's like let's take, you know, like the MJs and the
Mhm.
Roses and the Wades of life, because I will never do that. But like Paul Gasol,
Nah, he. If you really know basketball, you really know like he had a dominant career. Like without some people would say this, I'm crazy as fuck for saying this, but I don't think Kobe would be Kobe without
without
Paul.
Paul Gasol, no, it
It's
wouldn't.
the same thing with Derrick Rose, like Joakim Noah. The Rose would not be Rose without him. That's how I feel. A lot of
No,
people.
but you're real. Like it's true. It's like when you have like a power forward slash center that knows how to see the game, who knows how to pass, you know, who knows how to see that you're cutting. He knows he's going to rebound, and he's not giving a shit if he's going to make 2 points. He can give you the ball to a three. You know,
Mhm.
it's kind of like the mentality that I had in the game. You know, I was never a player that goes basket first. Like
Right,
that's not who I am. I can't. I know how to shoot a three. I know how to shoot from mid range. I know how to post up. I know how to do all that. But if
right.
you're telling me that if I see my player, my teammate on a corner three all alone, I'm not gonna pass that shit, bitch. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to?
Mhm.
Like, nah, I'm gonna pass that shit.
You
You
can
know,
pass it, right?
yeah.
It's the only way to do it.
Like that. But most of the time, I played like Paul Gasol. You know, back to the fucking basket. Who gives a shit? You know, I'm seeing all the game around me, and if I feel that my player is not paying attention, then I'm going to slide and cut and make two easy points. But like, you know, I always said to people like Paul Gasol, and people are like, you're crazy, and I'm like, no, I'm not. Do you know
Nah.
basketball? Like, do you watch basketball? Like, you know, it's kind of like that, you know. And one of other player that I really like, he's a center, let's call him a center, is Queiroz from Porto, the captain from Porto.
Mhm.
Like, he's really good, even though sometimes he doesn't know how to defense, but I yell at him like countless times, but it's okay. He likes me very much when I yell at him. Not really, but I really like him because he is one of the guys that knows how to do everything, you know. And it's
Mhm.
cool to see like um guys and girls, whatever, like that centers that can do everything, but they choose to play team first. You know, it's different, you know. But yeah, like I think like the people that you watch and the people that you see as your idols influence the way you play a lot. And I kind
Mhm.
of like you said Derrick Rose, and I'm like, yeah, you know, you kind of even look like a little bit like him, you know.
Nah, I don't look like Rose. Nah, people. I've heard that a few times, but I be like, nah, y'all crazy.
No, it's
Y'all
like it's the swag, you know. It's not like the facial thing. It's like
probably okay.
it's the swag, and you know the way you play. It's the way that people are going to see you. As hoopers. We should know that it's not like unfortunately this still happens. Like you are not no, you're nobody outside of that gym, you know. Like your personality is the way you play. And it kind of affects us both, and in a bad way. But it's like the swag that you play, you know, it kind of reminds of like Derrick Rose, like prime Derrick Rose. And it's you know, it's amazing. Like you were talking and say like Derrick Rose, and like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, it kind of it makes sense, you know. But like you talked about it, like let's move forward, because if you stay on here and we're going to talk about Derrick Rose and NBA and stuff like that for the rest of the night. But like we can go a little bit here for college basketball, just to, you know, check it up a little bit, just so we know like how it was and stuff like that. um like you played in Milwaukee Tech,
Milwaukee
right?
Tech.
Milwaukee
Yeah.
Tech. You talked about the experience that being like tough and stuff like that, and being adjusted, and you had to adjust again and stuff like that, and you compared a little bit to Chicago, to a high school. Where would you say that the biggest difference between Milwaukee and Chicago, and where did you learn the most about basketball? Where do you feel you learned the most?
Um, well, coming to Milwaukee Tech, the difference between actually, there's a lot of things that's actually similar. The only thing that's different is just the styles,
Yeah,
But the toughness is the same, the gritness is the same. Uh, of course, just going to high school to college in general, that's just a different jump. And JUCO basketball itself is another level because you have a lot of players who are talented as fuck, grades messed up, probably don't know how to act, shit like that, and they end up in JUCO just to get their shit together, and that's what the killers are. To be
yeah,
honest, there's killers everywhere, but it's a lot of killers in JUCO, like mud hungry, and Milwaukee, they had their own culture that kind of gave that maybe mixture Chicago and Milwaukee. Like I embraced it, I took it in. I wasn't just there just to go through the flow, and I think that added more to my game in the long run. But yeah, college was a tough, fun experience. Milwaukee Tech is right by Marquette College, where
yeah.
Dwayne Wade went to. So that's a lot of fucking distractions and shit. So as you could already imagine, but good and bad experiences though. I don't regret it at all. So um, it was one more question. You said
I
what?
asked where do you think you learned the most?
Oh,
It-
where do I think I learned the most? Like in my whole career or just college basketball?
College or basketball, like Chicago or Milwaukee. We can go Chicago or Milwaukee. Where do you think you learned the most about basketball?
Ooh, Chicago for sure. I learned different parts. Like I say I learned defense in high school. Like that was the biggest thing. My coach didn't give a fuck about offense, but that's probably because he knew how talented everybody was on offense, so he didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
But college is where I learned like that's kind of when I learned that stats don't fucking matter actually. Like that's when I really realized, woke up because I wasn't playing a lot, so I used to watch, but I used to realize stats didn't fucking matter because my teammate Day Day, he could score, he could do everything at will, but he only averaged like 8, 10, probably not even that. But I always felt he had the biggest effect on the game. So college gave me that visualization. Like you don't have to be a scorer; you could just do other shit. He was a defensive dog, my friend Day Day. So that's where I learned that you know you don't have to just be a scorer, a star. Just play a role. And that's how they was able to get to the national championship as well. So I was able to feel that winning experience as well. Bogan had that experience as well, but they didn't make it like when I was there, they didn't make it that far. So it didn't feel, you know,
yeah,
making it to that national stage in college. That's that just shows what type of programming it was. But yeah, playing your role in college. That's what I learned. Sometimes I don't want to skip too far forward, but sometimes like right now in Gaia, I don't have to score 30 or just do certain small shit to get the job done and win.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and you talked about Gaia, and I think we can go, just to the journey in Portugal, and we can go with the starting of all trades, like into 2022, after a big pandemic that all of us almost just want to fucking quit life. Um, for real though, you've been here in Portugal, and you talked, like, you gave us just this exclusive. Let's talk. Let's say like that you were the one that actually came to Portugal. You paid for it to come to Portugal. You hustled here to go to Dakota, And it was one of my questions is what, how did the opportunity come around? And you answer that like you made the opportunity. You made it. It's like they didn't end it on a silver platter. Like you came here and you're like, oh, I'm going to make my name in Portugal. I'm going to, work hard and, just do it by yourself. And
Yeah,
how
I don't wanna say, I'm sorry, Coach. I don't want to say I did it all by myself, because there is certain people that
of
help
course,
put that platform for me to step on.
of
I'm just
course.
putting it out there, so I don't feel like it's just a slap in the face towards certain people. But of course, and in general, like, they could put the platform out there as much as I want. I still got to go to it. So I see from that standpoint, like I did do it myself, but it's still kind of go both ways with that. But yeah, from just from your standpoint, like how we are talking, like the risk I had to take. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I just had to make that shit happen. Like literally, like it was either I sit at home and fucking cry about not playing, or I get my ass up and do something different. And this is gonna be embarrassing as well, but I never heard of Portugal until the camp.
And now that's the moment they're canceled. No, because
Never,
you know,
never.
like
Wait. I'm sorry,
you're
but I
you're giving Billie Eilish moments where she thought that Portugal was in Arizona, in the middle of the Arizona forest. So
no. I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I just never heard of it. Like
yeah,
I heard of Europe in general, like other other countries, but Portugal specifically, I never heard of.
yeah, it's like more because of the fact that if you were a soccer fanatic, you would
Uh,
know, but and I feel like this is like something with some parts of America where they are more focused on American football or basketball. They don't know about Portugal because it's all about fucking soccer. And
yeah.
thank God Namias is on the NBA right now because it would be still that. But we came, late to the basketball scene, and it's. I was joking with you, but it's normal for hoopers to not know who we are, to come here and not know what we do, and how we play, because I think the playing style in Portugal is way different even from Spain, from France, from the rest of
Mhm.
of Europe, because it's more of like a team based basketball, I guess, if you want to say it
If
like
you want
that.
me to, I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it, but if you want me to say it straightforward, sometimes I feel it's kind of robotic.
Yeah.
I feel like it's robotic, but if you have the right coaches, the right players, it works. But you still have to sometimes break that robotic. You know, you know,
Let me
you know.
tell you, it wasn't always like that. We used to know how to play basketball for real. Like we used to go to we knew how to hoop. We knew how to hoop. Calm down. The thing
No,
is,
I ain't saying y'all don't know how to hoop. It's just
no, I
the
get what I
structure
say.
of it.
Yeah, I get what you say. It's like more like this is the tactic, you do the tactic. This is the play,
Mhm.
you do the play. But this only came like 5 to wait, what, 8 years ago,
Also,
and
this is like
this is something recent, with the kids now, because this is the fault of like the under 14 coaches that put tactics on the kids, and they
mhm.
come with that mentality, and they don't know shit. Like I think if you see like now a under 18, under 20 game, and you see that one player needs to make the difference, they struggle.
Mhm.
They struggle because they don't know. I don't want to say they don't know how to play basketball, because they do. It's like they don't have that, like, I'll do it. That
Right.
that mentality, like, I'll do it. No, they are like, oh, we're gonna set a play, and the coach will say who the fuck wants the. I was like, when I was a
Mhm.
kid, I was like, we're down by two. I don't give a shit. I'll throw one shit from half court. No, for real though. Like
Whatever it takes to win, shit. Right.
like
No, I feel you.
I took like fucking 15 half court shots in my career between the ages of like 14 and the ages of like 17. Half of
Oh,
them went in. So we
that's
good,
not. I
you
thought you
know?
was gonna say in one season. I'm about to say you are fucking crazy. What the fuck?
No,
Nah.
no one says you're crazy. No, 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 no. If I did that right now, I would be off anything. But but no, for real, like when I was a kid, like I used to play here. I live in a small city, like basketball. Then it was like my team, and that's it. Like we had like 10 girls, and most of the time their parents wouldn't let them come because it was either too late or too soon to play. The time schedule. So yeah, like we used to get like 6 to 7 girls, and all of us wanted to play, and we would be pissed if we didn't play. So it was different. And then it started coming with tactics and stuff like that. And I always saw myself as a middle grounder. Like I could do like the tactics, and I could also do give me the fucking ball. I'll do some
Right,
shit. I'll
right,
get the shit.
right.
But I saw myself becoming more tactic and more robotic with time. And I think I struggle more now playing basketball than I did when I was a kid. So I get what you're referring. It's like, it's kind of like robotic and stuff like that. And that's why I think that most of the times when an American comes to the team, it shakes things up.
Mm-hmm.
It shakes things up. And even the rest of the players, the Portuguese players, start even on the practice, having more fun, having more, daring to do some shit, that they didn't dare in the beginning of the season, or they didn't dare in the year prior to that. I saw that a lot happening a lot with one of the teams that you played on the feminist on the girl side. I saw like a huge difference. It was only 2 girls that came in, and it was not even on the time of like Monique. It was like Nay and Melissa, and they came in, and then they're like the team. It was the same team, but the team changed, it shift. We had more fun. We had more like we were just playing. We were like, well, if this
Well,
doesn't work, just go set a fucking screen. One of us is gonna go in and make a fucking layup. Who gives a shit? I think it was like something that you guys bring all too well, to people here in Portugal. And it's natural that you didn't know where Portugal was. We are literally this size, so we good. We are this size, so don't worry about it. But like you said, you said like basketball is robotic, but like I need to know what was your first impression of like Coda, of the team in Coda.
back to the fucking basics. I had a great point guard. A great point guard. His name is Edgar. Um, he he was so basically kind of going back to our old conversation. Me coming to Portugal to that team specifically was trying to flip the mindset, get out of that fuck it play style.
Yeah.
Like I still knew how to. Now my first year, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I didn't have that shit. Like it was just buckets. But I was willing to learn though. Like I was willing to switch my game up. I had to see a few times the hard way. Like okay, this is not the route. This just scoring 30 and losing, that shit felt ass. That
Yeah.
happened a few times. And I was like, okay, this is not the fucking route. I actually want to win. And yeah, with Cora, the experience actually turned out better than I feel like everybody expected. We in the first phase we was just whooping ass, and I think that made a lot of noise. And we clicked, but we kept it simple. And I was seeing more and more like the more you just go with the flow of the game, just don't force nothing. And me just trying to switch the mindset of just going with the flow, not just going for 30. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Just showing off, just trying to get it done. Switching that mindset. We started winning, and that shit felt good as hell. Like we went on like a 5-6 game winning streak going into the second phase. That shit felt so good. So I think from there on, shout out to Cora. And they didn't even have I'm not trying to talk bad on them, but they wasn't even like as skilled. Like
No.
nobody like, shaking and banging and
No.
step
No.
back threes and none of that shit. It was like simple. And they were so effective still, and that switched my mind on the game a lot. I had a 7-footer on my team as well, so that kind of that
That
made
helped.
things easier for us. So you already know, but yeah, coming to court, that was a great experience. So it switched my mindset on, or just gave me different views of the game that I needed to see early. So
Yeah, but that's good to hear, because like I feel like most of the times like people don't understand like the fact that we are, I think, sometimes too simple. but it's effective, and that's what we like. But like you were talking about that switching the mentality and starting winning, like how was like your experience like on your first game? You have your first game on a Portuguese team playing against Portuguese players. Like how was it? Like how did you felt? Like what was your like first thoughts about it?
I was in my own fucking world. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was in. I had so many different thoughts. Like I just had to be find myself in a free flow state. Because if I caught myself in my thoughts too much, I would stress myself the fuck out. So I was better off in my own zone. I treated that day as if like I was just going to LA Fitness or just going to put up shots. I treated that day like it was just a relaxed day. But I knew, of course, in the game I can't relax. But it was just for my first professional game. I had to do it that way. I ended up scoring fucking 40, and we won. But that game really wasn't like it was just a great experience, but no lessons kicked in or nothing yet. I'm not gonna lie, it was just like a game. It was just a great first game. Shit didn't really kick in yet. So but it was a good experience. So I do love the way it's like we started. You know, but I after that first game, I actually got a little bit too confident. Like, damn, this is
Ooh, you
you
got
know
a little
what
bit
I'm
too
saying?
cocky.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this how it is here. Like 41st game, okay. Second game, I'm like, oh shit. This not what I thought. Maybe third game, I'm like, okay, all right. This is something different. I need to switch this shit up. So learn the experience, but.
Yeah, it's like you actually learn like, oh shit, like we have to play as a team. Like no, because it's real, like coming to a different country, having different mannerisms of doing everything. I kind of feel like when people stop in Portugal to play, because most of the times people don't stay, they just stop a little bit to play and then they go elsewhere better. But I think people don't realize that we play as a team and we try to elevate each other. And I had moments that I felt like people who was like playing with us for a few weeks, because some of them didn't stay longer to actually see us developing, thought we were whack, as a Portuguese culture in basketball, and didn't stay, to actually realize who who we are as basketball players, and how we can actually be your best friend and help you with everything, and be
Mm,
like, but at the same time be knocking some fucking sense on you, like, you are not LeBron James, calm the fuck down,
mhm,
because I think that's how we play. It's like all of us, if we actually like only had to work for basketball, could be way better than we are. But the difference is
yep,
like when you step to a country where even on the professional leagues you have players that still have to work
work
to
a
feed,
job.
to feed themselves, and you don't respect that, I bet you're gonna get knocked out. Like that's the thing, that's why I think it's like that's the biggest, like, that comes to your guy's mind.
Yeah, coming to Corba, that was actually another thing that fucked me up mentally that I should have spoke on. Like, and I think that is one thing that needs to be respected more. And I have to remind myself, like, y'all are not really full time basketball players, like, and y'all motherfuckers still coming in practice. I be thinking like, if I was y'all, I'm going my ass to sleep. Fuck that. I catch y'all on the weekends. I did have some players that was talented like that could do that shit, but it was more so the team, like they was coming to practice. Like they was working. Especially in core. Like I had people working dog hard and look coming in from work dirty as hell, like doing whatever type of job and going straight to practice. I respected that shit. That was a different view as well. So
It's a different love, like it's a 9 to 5 and then it's a 5 to 9.
that's crazy. That's
you know
crazy.
it's way different, and I think that's like why we usually with when we have like people coming from other places to play with us, and I like get money, we so much expect them to respect the way that we play or respect us or try to help us, and then there comes to a shock there, that if you're not open it to, change your mind and to realize that people here have to work to then actually some of us pay to play,
That's
with,
another thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
with you, that you are getting paid to play with us. It's like we are paying you, like, not like that, but we
No,
play,
no, I understand. I understand.
we pay to help the team, because if we want to play we need to pay, because there's no money to, to all of us. And then if you are getting paid to play here, just, at least embrace, what we are and what we do. And I met some players who couldn't do that, and I had a few, we
It's
can
just
say fights, with
uh,
them. Let's call them fights, you know uh, discussions, and probably some fists, but but nothing more than just,
not
bringing
more
people,
than
you
this.
know nothing more than bringing people down, because it's like I had people bringing me down, like, to hurt, because I was like, oh, I thought I was the shit. No, bitch, you can't even score. Like, shut the fuck down, calm down. So it's like, I guess, like, we keep each other humble,
Mm.
and that's the mentality that probably shocks you the most. Is like, we keep each other humble in middle of the fucking practice. It's like, shut up, like,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
fucking play.
yeah. In
But
America, we definitely don't do shit like that. So it's a humbling experience. Yeah.
yeah, I know, right? Like, we talked about, like, your first year and, like, how the experience went with Coda, and then can I ask you, because I want to see your part, how and how did André Resen happen to you? I want to know your part of the story.
It was kind of like a rerun of Cora. Uh, I was I was struggling to find teams actually, which was kind of frustrating. I was MVP. Um, we had a great season. Fuck the MVP. Actually, we had a great season. We had a winning. Second phase we kind of fell a little bit short, but like in general, we had a winning record. And I think that said a lot. It spoke volumes, and we was actually in the fights to go to CN1.
Yeah.
We finished in the last two games, but we was in the fight. We made a lot of noise. So I was thinking like I wasn't big headed like I'm finna go top league or pro league. I was just thinking at least some better CN2 teams would come to me or CN1. No. So I ain't gonna lie. I'm not the type. I don't if things don't come my way in like a week or two, I'm impatient. I'm making shit happen myself, and that's kind of what happened with Cora. After like 2-3 weeks, I noticed it was still no calls because some coaches plan already during the season.
Yeah.
So I already knew like I'm not getting no calls and it's already about to be the end of the season. Okay, that went through the FPB website, went through all the CN2 teams, Instagrams. I'm texting coaches. Like I put all my for CN2 when I was in core, I recorded all my games on a tripod. So thank God I was able to get my film that way. I'm sending the film to hella coaches. And Dragazin was one of them. Shout out to Vasco. A lot of motherfuckers responded, but they weren't taking me serious. Like, yeah, we watch it, we check you out. And the whole time they looking like, we don't give no fuck about this man shit, so move on. Vasco, he actually took me in, like he seen all my film and he was like, shit, we actually are interested. And I thank God because I was on Instagram is your primary general. I
Yes.
just kept checking the other one. It was just none but coaches. That's where I put all my coaches at, and no response. And I remember just seeing that one message pop up, and it was Vasco responding. And man, it was just up from there. Like ever since that first conversation, I tuned in on their page, and I got a good vibe. That things were genuine there. Just talking to him. I didn't even see the rest of the family yet. And I was like, hey, this is gonna be a good vibe. This is gonna be the one, and it happened. So
Yeah, but like now let me tell you my side of the story because
Oh
it's funny.
shit.
Because this is funny, and I'm gonna show it to you. Um, do you know who this man is? Coach Luis.
Oh motherfucker.
So the thing is, like, this was, I'm not even joking. I literally, it was the 13th of September 2023. I
Mm,
get a message um, of some sort of like, in Português, Dakota, there was an American last year. I need you to scout him.
what? You gotta
I
be
was the,
fucking kidding me.
I was the
What?
one scouting you. Yeah,
What?
I was the one scouting you. Like he said, like the that you send a message and stuff like that, and
I did send a message to the team page as well.
to the
Damn.
team page, and I was like, I'm trying to find out. So I start searching like deep webbing shit. You know, I this was like what at what time? It was like 5:10. 5:10. I had practice at 6 p.m. and I started like watching some film and stuff like that. And then my coach at the time, I was playing in Vienna, Adele. You played him like, I don't know if he was playing because he was hurt, but you played Vienna this year. But last year, that year on 2023, I was like, bitch, I need your help because I'm searching this, but like this is too much. Like, can you help me? So me and him actually were the ones scouting you with one of your friends, I guess. Oh, he took out the names, but like I was scouting you, sending messages. Like I'm not even joking, sending messages to Luis, like telling him like you're a good defender. You know, like that you had like live streams on Facebook and stuff like that. I was watching him, like, and I was like, I said he makes a difference. He knows how to defense and stuff like that. And then there was you and the other one who was like a center. And
Right.
I was like, let me check if I'm watching the right guy. And I was like, I asked him, and he's like, no, it's the point guard one. And I was like, yeah, we good. Like he's good. Just just go ahead. Like the guys want an American. Like they want so bad to have like somebody to help them. Just go ahead. He's good. It's good to go. Like so, it was so funny. I was like, I'm keeping this to my fucking self. If one day I get to interview him, I'm gonna tell the shit that I was like they were like, oh, please say something good about it. I was like, yep, go ahead.
This is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. This is fucking crazy. This was the last thing I was expecting. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Out of all people, you like out of everybody, and you know it's crazy. You've been cool with me the whole time, and you've been acting like this shit crazy. Oh
That's not the
shit.
reason you got hired, of course. Like they were already looking at you, but like Luis wanted a second opinion of somebody who could actually like be in
Right.
touch with people who played with you and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think they were looking for other opinions, other than the guys who really wanted to have you there, and the coach Vasco who really like was pushing. Like Vasco was pushing you to be there, and he was like, you know what? Let me call this one. Like she's gonna tell me straight like it is. So I was watching the film and stuff like that. I was like, no, you're good. Like he's offering, like go ahead. Like what the fuck? Like go ahead. Like he's really good. If he's offering, like go ahead. So that's why I start like since the beginning. I started watching you and stuff like that, and I followed you, and I was like, okay, let's see how this happens, because if this goes to shit, it's gonna be my fault. So
Yeah, damn. Well, I didn't let you down. Shit.
no,
I didn't let you down.
you didn't let me down. That's the thing. I was like, thank the fuck God. I was like,
Man,
thank God. Like I was like, this motherfucker better bring it, because if he doesn't, I'm gonna kill him. Like
that is pressure on your name too. That's pressure on your name. Yeah.
Like I was like, I can open like an agency right now. We good. Like I'm settled. I was like, I even joked about it with Louis. Like I was like, I need 10%. Like
You
I
right. You need some of that pay for that, right?
I needed some payment, you know. I was like, I'll buy you dinner, and I was like, until today, Louise, you had bought me shit, you know. So, but like it was really funny because then we were talking and stuff like that, and I called him. I was like one of your games that you scored like really high numbers, and you had like really good assists, and you had lots of steals. It was one of the first games. Um, you played really well, and I called him and was like, "Ha, see, I know I have the highs for it," and he was like, shut up," like
Yeah.
because he knew I was messing with him, you know. And like coming to this, and like that's what I was like most forward to looking up to talk with you, and like this is gonna be. I was like, this is gonna be funny when like this is the world is small.
The world is small, and this is, I'm glad you told me now though, because this really just lets me know you just don't know who's fucking watching.
Yeah,
Like, and you like the most unexpected. You just, damn, man, what the
you
fuck? Out
thought I
of
was
all
just a kid.
people, that kind of fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie, that kind of fucked me up. I was nice.
No, that's the thing, because I most of the times I follow everyone who goes to play to Andre because I want to see them. I want to like most of the times I actually talk with Louise like it's good, it's not good. I don't feel it, like I feel it, whatever, because it's still a big part of my life. So I was like when he called me and told me that, I was like, yeah, of course I'm gonna bring the best, even if it's for the men's. I'm gonna bring the best that I can offer to them. And I was like, I was watching and I was like, yeah, bro, we're good. We settle. Like the go ahead. Like green cards. I was like, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. We did.
Nah,
We good. But
nah,
like yeah, like I was like start following you, and then I started like messaging you, and you were super cool, and I was like, oh okay, we good, we good. We super good. But yeah, like um coming to Andrea, like and playing from Cora, like all this being said and stuff like that, how did you feel any difference? Like what was the difference between Code and Andrea? Like um what do you think it was like the biggest difference?
core year felt like a discipline year.
Yeah,
Like that was the year for discipline. Like it wasn't no I wasn't living luxury in Evra, but you know the difference. Like it's but Corey just felt more disciplined, just strictly basketball, no real extra fun, none of that
yeah,
shit. Just focus. And Evra, I felt like Cora felt like a family too, but they more so worked more to themselves, and Everett felt like a family. Like it was totally different. Like from the coaches to the players to the fans. I don't even like calling them fans. Like I like calling them family too.
yeah, they're family, they're
You
crazy
know,
as fuck.
and they are crazy, but that's what we need.
Yeah,
Shit, we all blend in together. But yeah, it was a big jump. Um, again, no shade to Cora. I love them as well, but yeah, Evra is just they're more united, you know.
yeah,
So and then the play styles are different. Cora, they play more tough, like more gritty. Here it's more swaggish. They still play tough, but I feel like on that side it's more swaggish. Like, you got more people who's more skilled who will get a bucket, throw
oh
some
yeah,
pass, things like that in that nature. So
yeah.
uh,
You played with like a lot of guys that they are flashy, they had swag, they are not afraid of like, I'm gonna give you a little swag,
right,
they are like that.
right.
They are like that. They are a fun team to watch. I really love them. Like I loved them last year. This year I haven't like been watching a lot of the men's games,
Mhm.
but last year and even the years that I was there, I loved watching them. They're so funny to watch. It's like a different game. Like I don't know. It's really
Mhm.
cool to watch them.
Yeah, it was actually before I like actually signed, I watched a lot of the games too, and I was loving it. So it was different as well, but that year when I played with them, like that shit felt so like I don't know, man. That shit felt like it just felt like such an iconic moment. Like I really thought I was till this day I'm sick. We go to CN1. I felt that was the year to go
Me
up.
too.
Me personally, I felt that was the team. Like I felt we had every single piece we needed, and everybody knew their role. We wasn't
Yeah,
afraid to switch roles either. Sometimes, like like it wasn't no ego. It was just strictly love and basketball. Like everybody was family. Wasn't no extra bullshit. So like, I mean, of course, it's gonna be some fights here and there, whatever. But
that
we
that's
that
that's that's family.
it's part of it, But it's just how you bounce back from it, and we stood like family every time. So shout out to Vasco, the whole family, Luis, Anna. Oh man, don't even get me started talking about Anna and Huey. I love them so much too.
Anna
You're
is amazing, and we also like. I think Anna is like one of the most sweetest persons ever. She does everything she can, like that's the thing. I don't know. I think she works her ass off. She's the biggest fan. She's the biggest mom. She's the biggest everything to all of us. So shout out to Anna and shout out to her to make everything possible for you guys and for us.
Yep. Shout out to. I was low key. I was surprised. She probably was busy or something, but I was surprised I didn't see her at the game today.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably, like right now, it's like it's a
Moving
lot of
around.
games. We have under 18, under 16, and stuff like that, and they need to help everywhere they can. And then, I think probably not throwing shit or anything. It was not like an important game for Andre this Sunday. But like you said, they played good. So shout out to Andre Tezen. To the girls team. But yeah, like talking about Andre and the fact, actually, I think it helps a lot that they have a team in the CN1, even though it's the girls team. I think it helps like with more exposure and stuff like that as a team. Do you feel like you got more exposure on Andre?
We got it next. That's how you finesse. We come for they